From weather hurdles to market volatility, crop insurance remains top of mind for growers as we push through the growing season. Brooks York with AgriSompo joins us now with some industry insight. Brooks, good to have you with us once again. Markets have been shell-shocked with a massive sell-off. Are there any indicators that signal that we are near those lows?
You know, Tammy, you got to look back kind of in history, and it's hard to draw parallels to specific years because the demand structure is so different. But if we take a look at the year 2020, we saw some extreme carryout estimates that were out there. In other words, leftovers of our corn and bean stocks. That year, we saw corn estimated at 2.54 billion left over. We saw beans a little over 600 million, and we saw prices really dip. Now, keep in mind, those estimates didn't come to fruition and prices actually rose, but we saw prices go down to around 850 on beans that year in 2020. We saw corn dip down to around 320. And we're not at those levels of carryouts right now. We're estimated at 2.1 billion bushels left over on corn, 455 million on beans. So it feels like we certainly hope that we're getting close to a floor. Speculators extremely short. The caveat that we're dealing with right now is we've kind of got a pre-harvest going on with old crop bushels from the farm going to town, and then of course right behind that's going to be harvest. So we may not take that big jump like we want, but hopefully we're somewhere close to some stabilization on prices.
Hope so. Just an uncomfortable situation with the prices as they are. Now, from a crop insurance perspective, will the projected prices set earlier in the year help ease this pain on farmers' bottom lines?
You know, they certainly will. Two things will. That number is important, that projected price. The other one is hopefully there's substantial yield increases to help that revenue on the farm. When I think about a situation where those projected prices are going to come in and really be a big benefit, I think about areas in the southeastern part of the United States, really all the way up into Maryland and that Delmarva Peninsula where they had such extreme temperatures and dryness early on. Those prices that we set back in February are certainly going to bolster that revenue, and really that's where you see crop insurance pay off.
Any final advice as growers work to navigate this market?
You know, this is going to be a tough one. I think we're going to introduce some new volatility periods on the calendar that we may not have seen in the past. You know, we typically have looked for that May, June, July period, and we didn't see great opportunities this year to give us opportunities to sell. Hopefully, we get this Brazilian crop underway, this whole South American crop. We see some of that volatility creep back into the marketplace November, December, January. So hopefully there's some opportunities once we get to the crop in the bins.
Yeah, that's a lot to look out for. That's AgriSompo Producer Services Director Brooks York. Appreciate your time today.